Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Now, up in just a few minutes, we have our influencer segment brought to you by OG Pay. And today we are featuring Jianna Bonomi, a near death experience survivor, inspirational fitness model, a holistic healer, and an alchemist specialist. Now, before her rising phoenix story, and she has quite the story, she was a professional athlete, beginning her career at 6 years old and getting recruited and offered a full ride scholarship from over 20 Division One programs. She played indoor volleyball at the University of San Diego and beach volleyball at the University of Arizona. She represented California in the Californian Polynesian All Stars and was nominated for the City of Lakewood's Youth Hall of Fame. She was even asked to represent the United States on the USA Women's Collegiate National Volleyball Team. Yet, she claims that most of her strength comes from an event that placed her at her weakest mentally, emotionally, and physically. That's right. In July of 2018, she was hit head on by a drunk driver going 90 miles an hour. She claims that she remembered everything, including the moment where she no longer was in her body. She suffered from shattered feet, pulmonary embolisms in both lungs, 3 broken ribs, a broken wrist, concussions, multiple lacerations all over her body, and was bleeding internally from a third-degree lacerated liver. Wow. Here to chat on how she went from wheelchair to warrior is the beautiful Jianna. Welcome to the show, Stunner.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
First of all, God bless you, and may you continue to be strong and healthy and fight for your spirit to remain at ease. Now, let's chat about your near-death experience for a moment because I believe that it will inspire others.
Absolutely. I always say, my story is definitely not boring. It is a miracle. And from the beginning, I was told by doctors, from the first second, it is a miracle that you are alive. Getting hit in an accident at 40 miles per hour in general is a big deal versus getting hit head on at 90. You definitely have a story. So I know that I'm meant to be here for a larger purpose, for
You
sure.
you sure are, and due to advances in resuscitation and critical care medicine, many people have survived encounters with death, and these people, such as yourself, are estimated to comprise hundreds of millions of people around the world based on population studies, and you have consistently described and recalled experiences surrounding death, which involve a unique set of mental recollections with very universal themes. Talk to me about your experience.
Absolutely. When I recall my experience, it's often challenging to find words to really express because words, we created them. It's human creation. But I vividly remember the dissociation from my body. So my ears could hear what was going on, but where my spirit was completely quiet. And so having that knowledge, it was definitely a knowing that I wasn't in my body anymore. And so hearing kind of that dissociation of, I heard the metal, I felt my body hitting the every part of the car, and I knew that I only had about 2 more seconds left. And so that separation, I mean, I knew wherever I was, it was a very peaceful place. Yet I knew that I wasn't done here, and I decided to come back.
Wow, I got chills. Okay, so you were in the ICU for a few days, and over a month, you split your time between Cedar Sinai and Hoag Rehabilitation Hospital. Talk to me about your recovery.
That was definitely, I mean, my recovery was definitely the most challenging experience that I have ever gone through. And we're talking about, being an athlete at like 6 years old and being pushed mentally, physically, emotionally since I was a child. And that was definitely one of the most challenging because you go from identifying with your body and your body's ability to perform, and all of a sudden you're requiring 4 to 5 nurses to help sit you up inch by inch in bed. So to say it was humbling is an understatement. But you learn how strong you are in your weakest moments.
Yes, and you were told by doctors that you would never be able to return to an active lifestyle ever again, and you defied their diagnosis in 2 years, being one of the first partially disabled cast members on Beachbody's Muscle Burns Fat, and then you were rebooked for the cast of Muscle Burns Fat Advanced. Talk to me about how being part of that cast has helped you heal. We have about 4 minutes, but I want to get it all in.
I was so excited to have that opportunity. To be honest, I just said yes. And I didn't know if I was able to do some of the requirements asked of me. And I just jumped in and said, I'm going to give it all that I can. And I may or may not be able to, but who knows if you don't try.
Who knows if you don't try? Exactly. Now, 3 years later, this gets even crazier. You were the victim of another hit and run accident, and it's like lightning striking the same person twice. Dear Lord, talk to me about what setbacks that caused and how you coped.
That one was tough. That one was going back to reliving one of the darkest parts of my life. But again, healing for me, it's cyclical. It's not linear. So the more that you go through something and come back around, the deeper of an understanding that you have about yourself, about life, about what you believe in. And so that gave me really the opportunity to solidify the beliefs that I had cultivated in the first accident, but really just strengthen them and really know that my story is meant to help shape people's lives and to provide hope and light in a place of darkness.
You are an inspiration. What is your current disability right now as a result of both these accidents?
So I am technically partially disabled. I could have a handicap pass, but I choose not to. I have limited mobility in my feet. So I had 3 plates and 18 screws in my right foot and 1 plate and 8 screws in my left foot. And I wasn't really able to, I wasn't supposed to be able to run or jump or whatnot. And I'm defying that currently and continuing to push myself every day to kind of what I like to say, a flirt with the edges and see what you're made of.
Of course, of course. Now, talk to me about how you're helping others and what your mission is.
I am passionate, very passionate about empowering others. Of course, I have my soft spot for my women out there, but I also, anyone that's looking to heal. And simply put, I just remind you of your power. That's all. I just remind you of what's possible. And I am no different than anyone else. I know that my story can help expand people's mindsets and their own view on their own quote unquote limitations. I always say quote unquote because I don't believe that we're limited.
I couldn't agree more. We are definitely not limited, and you are living proof of that. So now talk to me about muscle burns fat. And guys, to be completely clear, no, muscle doesn't directly burn fat. Instead, the fat molecules have to be converted into glucose. Then your muscle will be able to use it for fuel, aka burn it. But talk to me about muscle burns fat and what that program is.
Muscle Burns Fat is Beachbody. It was actually launched during the pandemic. So it was Beachbody's first hit program that was available to everyone who was looking to work out during the pandemic. And what we did, it was over a course of 6 weeks. I was waking up doing, we actually filmed 2 workouts a day. So 2 40-minute hit workouts a day, 1 30-minute break. And it really just pushes you physically, mentally, emotionally, which is sort of the narrative of my story. So being able to be a part of that was amazing. And just, I mean, I loved the cast. I loved the Beachbody family, and I love the opportunity to share more.
Well, I love you and I would love to learn from you. So I would be one of those fans definitely signing up. We're out of time, but I just want to thank you for coming on. You are such an inspiration, such a bright light, and beautiful inside and out. And continue healing.
Thank you so much.
That was Jianna Bonomi, and that was our influencer segment brought to us by ogpay.com. Definitely check her out on the gram at Jianna Bonomi, or you can head to teambeachbody.com, and you can also check them out on the gram at Beachbody and at Muscle Burns Fat. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this.